Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving into something that's been around forever, but is right in the middle of a massive reinvention, the train. And this isn't just one change. It's a story of two huge revolutions happening all at once. One's digital, one's green, and they're about to completely change the game for rail. Okay, let's get right into it. Because right now, rail is kind of living a double life. On the one hand, it's this amazing green hero, right? It uses 6 times less energy than trucks, spits out up to 9 times less CO2, and its accident costs are an incredible 85 times lower. But on the other hand, it can feel so old-fashioned. We're talking about these soul-crushing delays at borders, a huge number of trains still chugging along on dirty diesel, and paperwork that honestly looks like it's from the 1950s. So the big question is, how do we get all that green goodness without all the slow, dirty baggage? So, first up, let's talk about the speed problem. And here's the thing. The problem isn't the train itself. No. The real issue is the invisible walls it slams into every single time it has to cross a border. And this slide, wow, it just lays out that whole painful process. First, you've got the paperwork pile up. I mean, a literal mountain of paper that has to be checked manually. Then you've got technical mismatches. You know, one country might use a wider track than its neighbor, which means you have to physically stop and switch out the wheels on the train. It's wild. On top of that, there's a maze of different inspections and legal hurdles that can force you to redo all the cargo documents. Each one of these steps is just another reason for a train to grind to a halt. The solution to this giant, complicated puzzle actually has a name: interoperability. It's this simple-sounding but incredibly hard-to-achieve goal of getting all these different national rail systems to just work together seamlessly. And we're not just talking about the physical stuff like tracks. It's also about making the laws, the rules, and the day-to-day procedures all speak the same language, so a train can just go. So how do you tear down these invisible walls made of rules and paperwork? Well, you don't use a bulldozer. The solution is something just as invisible: data. This is where we get to the rise of digital rails. And here's how it all works. It's actually pretty brilliant. Instead of the train showing up with a big folder of papers, all the information is sent ahead electronically, sometimes days in advance. Data from one single digital document gets shared and reused by everyone: railways, customs, you name it. Special single-window facilities coordinate all the inspections in one go. And what you get is a paperless process with real-time tracking that makes the entire system faster, way more reliable, and a whole lot more secure. And the really crucial thing here, this isn't just a theory, it actually works. A pilot project called Intertran tested these ideas out. Before they went digital, processing documents for a single shipment took 3.7 days. After, it dropped to just 10.2 hours. Think about that. That's a reduction of nearly 90%. They didn't change a single piece of track. They just changed how the information moved. And those time savings? Well, they translate into absolutely massive economic potential. One study found that just by getting this digital interoperability right, freight traffic between Europe and Asia on trains could jump by almost 50% by 2030. That's the power you unlock when you fix these data bottlenecks. But here's the thing. Once you solve the speed problem, it shines a huge spotlight on another, even bigger challenge. Okay, the trains are finally moving smoothly across borders. But what's powering them? For way too many, it's still a diesel engine. And the message we're getting from policymakers, from big banks like the European Investment Bank, is crystal clear. With huge climate goals like the European Green Deal, the target isn't just to pollute less. No, the goal is zero direct emissions. The era of the diesel train is officially coming to an end. Now, you might look at this chart and think, hold on, rail is only 3% of transport emissions? What's the big deal? But that's exactly the point. To hit our big climate targets, every single sector, every single percent, has to get to zero. That 3% isn't small change. It's the final piece of the puzzle to make rail a genuinely sustainable way to move things around. So if diesel is on its way out, what's coming in? What's going to power the clean, fast, digital train of the future? Well, two major technologies are really leading the pack: batteries and hydrogen. On one side, you've got battery electric trains. Think of them like a super smart hybrid. They can pull power from overhead wires when they're there, but then use their own big batteries to cross sections of track that don't have wires, like that last mile into a port. Then, on the other side, you have hydrogen trains. These are the real game changers for long-distance routes where it just doesn't make sense to build overhead lines. They create their own electricity right on board, giving them tons of range and flexibility. And let me be really clear about this. This is not science fiction. This isn't some pie-in-the-sky idea for 2050. These zero-emission technologies are mature, they're tested, and they are ready for a large-scale commercial rollout right now. The revolution is already underway. Okay, so let's put it all together. When you take these two incredible transformations, the digital fix for borders and the clean energy fix for pollution, you get this really powerful vision for what global transport is about to become. Because a truly modern railway isn't just fast, and it isn't just clean. It has to be both. We're talking about a single, intelligent system where data flows as freely as the train itself, all powered by clean energy. That's how you build supply chains that are not only efficient, but also resilient and good for the planet. So this combination of smart data and clean power, it finally solves that big paradox we started with. It takes all the natural advantages of rail and frees them from the old chains of bureaucracy and dirty fuel. It positions rail to be more important, more vital than ever before. Really, the question is no longer if rail can be the backbone of a sustainable economy, but how quickly we can get it built.